Hey guys, it's Mornings with Mo and Fry. Fry is awake-ish. He's a little tired, but eating Mr. Mo's shoelaces will do that to you. And figuring out how to jump out of his puppy pen while mom is out getting more milk and shoelaces will also do that to you. He is learning all of the tricks while mom is out. And I think he and the cats have formed an alliance because somehow he got a chicken bone. Now, that's not the bone that he's worrying right now, but he was able to get a chicken bone from last night's chicken dinner. So we will be rethinking our puppy containment system as we are out, or as mom is out when we leave, because somehow he was able to get out. Now, I don't know if the boys actually shut the gate in his little puppy pen because he has yet to be able to jump out prior to. So it might be a factor of him not being able to get out of the gate and or someone didn't actually shut the gate, which is more likely. But in the first story, I don't want to alarm you all, but Florida man may be in negotiations with the shark population. We may have a Florida man shark, alliance in the future. I just want you to be aware. You heard this morning on Mo and Fry. For the love of Cheetos, sir, I set the camera up. You succeed in I set the camera up so people can see you, sir, and you elude it. Mom is gonna have to figure out something with this camera, sir. But, yes, the deadly, Florida man shark alliance has begun. Forget about Skynet and AI. We should definitely worry about this first. In Pensacola Beach, beachgoers came to the rescue after a massive shark was stranded on a Florida beach. A woman caught the dramatic scene on video as her husband and some other men worked to bring the shark back into the water. One of the men said he saw the shark closing in on the beach at a fast speed. And then the shark became stuck on the sand. Now, personally, look, if you're one of nature's more killular animals, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is God's will, but also you're not nice and fluffy. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm a fluffy animal elitist, though I will stop and save a possum now because I have fully aligned with Basil, the one-eyed possum in Washington. So I have changed my mind on possums. So maybe this Shark Florida alliance will change me. And one day I will even save puppies, alligators and such too. Uh, Quote, after several seconds of seeing it struggle to get back in the water, my husband took charge and tried to help it, the woman told Storyful. Now, personally, as Mrs. Mo, let me tell you that my conversation with Mr. Mo would be as such. Well, look, they don't look until I lost 3 husbands, so go as you will, but, look, I have this on camera, I didn't do it, I will show the prosecutor you, of your own free will, when to help this shark. I had nothing to do with this, you are fully sober, but for my own safety, I am filming this crap because I will not be charged if you lose limb and or life saving a damned shark. But that is just how I would roll as a wife because I am also an ass. Her husband and a couple other men, notice no women involved, grabbed the tail fin and pulled the toothy fish toward deeper water. The agitated mako shark, which dwarfed the men, struggled and thrashed. At one point, it threw the rescuers aside. Quote, "Babe, it's too dangerous. Don't be doing that." a woman behind the camera yells, yeah, sounds like the voice of reason. Again, notice women are generally not involved in this. Uh, I believe women rarely understand the amount of risk taking that men are willing to engage in to impress us, and or just risk taking in general that men are willing to do. But instead of flexing muscle in shark fashion, it jumped in the air several times, showing off its deadly teeth. Babe, look at them freaking teeth, she said on the video. The woman said after several attempts by her husband, two other joined the dangerous rescue mission. They managed to pull it into deeper water. Um, again, that's a hard pass. I'm sorry. Nature will find a way. I mean, I guess not. I'm sure I would possibly help the shark, maybe. No, no, you know what? I see the danger end of a shark. I'm a hard pass that. Look, this is God's will. Good morning, Carlene. Good morning, Kim. And good morning, Murph's Turf. And just an addendum to last night, I will be doing another 8 p.m. Delphi case. I will try to get further into it. And I will be trying to set up my lapel mic so that we can use the murder board because I have a feeling I will need 6 more murder boards, 7 mobile boards of truth, and at least 84,000 yards of red string and uh, things to make sense of this uh, case. Now, the one interesting thing about that that I will say, and then I will leave all of the rest of that for the 8 p.m. stream, is that all of the facts that they are bringing out in this memorandum of spiciness and man bear pigness is that all the facts that they are bringing out in this case, they are getting from the discovery that they got from the state. So, they are my conspira hat. I am going to be diligently working on it as I do the Gareth Pursehouse case today. So, did I remember to get anything for my Conspira hat as I was getting Mr. Moe's new shoelaces today? No, I did not. But as you can see, these lovely men and examples of good, brave, but possibly slightly more risk taking and uh, interesting masculinity saved this lovely shark. The stunned shark was very still, with onlookers wondering if the animal was still alive. No, it's just recharging to bite the crap out of you. After a few moments to recuperate, the shark swam away, and the eyewitnesses gave the three men a standing ovation, except I count one, two, three, four men. Apparently, Florida man and the Shark Alliance needs, well, go with, uh, they go with lawyer math. And God bless them, everyone. But the Florida Man Shark Alliance has begun. It was foretold, and now Aquaman coming out in January makes much more sense. In less funny news, because unfortunately, um, we have to cover less funny news sometimes. Where in the world did I put that? Where in the world? Some days I have my brain. I swear to goodness, it's been there. It's like I have my brain and then I don't have it, or I put it up there and I don't. Good morning, pesky citizen. Well, I mean, you know what? It is a good show of, positive masculinity in that they were using their strength to help something weaker than themselves. Uh, maybe I try to X out the stories as I do them so I don't get confused with the amount of stories I have up because I add stories throughout the day, and then sometimes I manage to, I know you're shocked, but I managed to get ahead of myself. And yes, so sorry about that, quick, uh, switcheroony. But in sadder news and human garbageness, allegedly, because it's not, they haven't been charged just yet. And good morning, pesky citizen. The owner of a Bronx daycare where a 1-year-old passed away of opiate overdose wasted precious minutes calling alleged drug accomplices before 911. Yeah, Matt, I mean, not everyone apparently knows what yummy, yummy shark tastes like. I don't know, but seems like something that also people would be involved in. Good morning, Sal. So, yeah, in alleged human garbage people, we have the owner of a Bronx daycare where a 1-year-old boy died after inhaling fentanyl called two alleged accomplices in the covert drug operation, including her husband and a third person, before finally dialing 911 for help. Oh, thank you. W Well, Shizzy, it is the crack of 9 a.m. I stayed up past 8 PM, to be functional. I usually stay up till at least 11 AM, but not functionally, just playing on the internet. So, it's a what day is today? It's a Tuesday. It's all confusing. Brain farts, if I remembered exactly why I went into a room all the time, I could be a daggone genius. Fry has exhausted himself, destroying and mangling Mr. Moe's shoes, and his shoelaces were, in fact, it was a difficult covert mission. I had hidden his shoes, and, he went all SEAL Team 6 and found them and then destroyed them. But thank you for the reminder, Shizzy Wiznut. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and share with your friends if you think they need a morning dose of, well, newsy news you didn't know you needed. And Fry. And remember that if you are not seeing all the chats that I pull up, you might be on top chat and not live chat. And yes, these people are just awful, allegedly, because they have not yet been convicted. Um, the husband of Gray Mendez de Ventura, the 36-year-old proprietor of Divino Nino Daycare, was spotted on surveillance footage suspiciously carrying out a large bag before first responders arrived, police sources say. De Ventura wasted precious minutes taking the trio of phone calls after little Nicholas Feliz Dominici and three other children were exposed to fentanyl on Friday, one police source said. Quote, how callous could she be? Asked incredulous law enforcement source. I'm just going to put this up there. Make of it what you will. And I will put the obligatory Salbert up. Diventura phoned her husband, who is on the lam and is considered a main player in the drug mill, her already arrested cousin in law, Carlisto Acevedo Brito, and her friend before asking or seeking medical help around 3:30 p.m. Quote, she wasted precious minutes worrying about herself and the drug dealers when she could have been most concerned with saving these innocent babies' lives, police sources said. When Nicholas was finally rushed to the hospital, he was pronounced dead. Now, this is just parents already have enough on their plates trying to really good morning, Toodly Pip. I haven't seen you in a while, but I hope you are having a lovely Tuesday, and everyone is having a lovely Tuesday this morning. But the parents already have a scary enough time trying to find people that they, you know, really can trust to watch their children as they are forced to, go out and work. I mean, believe me, I just went grocery shopping and the sticker shock is scary. I mean, Mr. Mo and I are not blind to how incredibly lucky we are that we've also run the numbers, and I would have to make approximately $30 an hour just to break even for daycare when, we were raising the kids and, looking at daycare prices just for us to break even, I would have to make about $26 just for, daycare costs. And you have people like this who, in the guise of having, in-home friendly people you can trust, they're doing this junk around these children and really abusing that. And I just, ugh. 3 other kids, a pair of 2-year-old boys and one of their 8-month-old sisters, were also hospitalized, with one of the boys in critical condition, according to the police. Before emergency responders arrived, Ventura's husband was seen on surveillance footage showing up to the daycare, entering through a back door, staying a few minutes, then leaving with a large bag, enough to hold several kilos of illicit drugs, according to the source. Ventura and her husband spoke numerous times on the phone after he left, police sources said. She and Britlow, 41, have both been arrested and charged with murder, manslaughter, assault, drug possession, and child endangerment. After raiding the daycare Friday, cops, quote, discovered a kilogram of fentanyl in an area that was used to give children naps. What is wrong with you people? I mean, now, look, I am not a unlicensed street pharmacist. I know y'all are shocked, okay? I have only I am pre-pharmacology, as you will, and pre-unlicensology, but I thought fentanyl was deadly if you just touched it. So how do you have a kilo? And why in God's name, if you're going to be an absolute trash human being and have this, and you're gonna ruin other people's lives. I mean, don't make me go full is it, oh gosh, is it M Bali, or don't make me go full Malaysia where we just give drug dealers life and or the DP, if you know what I mean. I mean, don't make me go full that because I honestly think give these people time alone with the father of this pair of these of the child that no longer is with us. 'Cause at this point, it doesn't s it's funny because, I try valiantly, and I know this is it's funny because I try valiantly to say every criminal, no matter how terrible, deserves a fair day in court versus the angry mama bear who's like, "Look, let them just have 5 minutes alone with the family, and we will have no more of these problems." So, you have these very I have this very, like, first principles, we need to stand on we can't bend our principles based on emotions, and then look, look, the family members can take care of this. There is a reason that, in the Old West, we just rounded up posses, allegedly. So, the it's hard on these kinda cases to stay very, very, the justice system has to be neutral, it has to mete out justice blindly, and it has to be fair versus, "Look, I'm just saying." Um, they also found 3-kilogram press devices, which are used to package large amounts of drugs. The kitties apparently inhaled the drugs after it was cut in the daycare center and released into the air, sources said. This beautiful little boy I mean, look at his little beautiful eye I hate people. not everyone and not y'all, but in I just yeah, it's definitely hard to be neutral and stay to those first principles when you really just want to go full. Some of the younger youngsters were administered the opiate overdose drug Narcan. The girl and one of the 2-year-old boys are now in a stable condition. The neighbor said it was an open secret around the neighborhood that the daycare was a drug front, explaining the business was open more than a year ago and adults frequently came and went, but that a child wasn't seen in the place until about 2 months ago. We all said Drogos. How do you not know? A longtime resident who is 69 who declined to be named. I know, he was a beautiful little boy who had his entire life ahead of him. And because his parents have to work, because his parents, have to make money and have to, be responsible and provide a life for him, shoes and little guy stuff, trucks and food, it and even if that might have the sad thing is they might have known all of this was a front, and this might have still been the only thing that they could have afforded, or the only thing that was open that was taking children at the time because of, places being used up by current political things I'm not gonna get into right now because this is not the show for that, but still, people are being forced more and more into pressure cookers, and more and more, you have out of touch people at the top who are like, "No, we're gonna just do more of the same." And then you're gonna see people snap, and people at the top are gonna be like, "I have no idea why these people are just being so crazy." And and it's gonna be stories like this. It was a daycare for a year with no children. For 1 year, she had a daycare with no children, but people go in, but no babies. A daycare with no children and men coming in and out. Yes, we knew something was not good happening here, she said. And my guess is that they reported this to police, but police had, they were underfunded. We cut funding to the police, which, was the voters in that city's right to do. That was what they wanted to do. They voted for it. And I'm a firm believer in if in your municipality, that's what you would like to do, then you do it, but these are the consequences. Or, people in that area just didn't want to talk to the police. Despite such accounts, the daycare managed to pass a surprise inspection from the city's Department of Health and Mental Hygiene on September 6th, according to record. Divino Niño Daycares is technically under the purview of the state's Office of Children and Family Services, but inspection duties have been outsourced to the city for years at the price of millions in taxpayer dollars. On Monday, Mayor Eric Adams said inspectors did everything they were supposed to do during their review, but Ventura and her cohorts had broken the relationship partly based on trust. Quote, they, inspectors, did their job, but who did not do their job were the people who were supposed to protect the children, Adams says. Everything appeared to be normal based on the standards we put in place to and surely make sure surely not in a safe environment. Part of this relationship is based on trust, and they broke that trust. Mayor Adams, I would really like you to not talk about anything, but you're not my mayor, so but sir, I I mean, this stuff is so dangerous that everyone else here is wearing hazmat suits, and these people, these human garbage, adults, are wearing flip flops and hoodies. It it burns my biscuits. If I'm going to be honest with you, that again, just like in drunk driving stuff, and I will end my rant right now because this is more supposed to be a fun kind of thing, but well, Sal, of course. Uh, But just like in drunk driving cases, just like in, all of these cases, again, it's the very innocent that end up getting hurt, and then the, true distributors of this mass chaos have have barely any consequences physically or, detrimental for them. In other news, disaster, well, it definitely disassed her. A woman said her butt was chopped off after being sucked into a boat's propeller. She's been documenting her journey as shocked viewers pray for her recovery. Yeah, there's the blood-brain barrier that children do not have. That's why there's an entire, study of pediatrics. It's a shocking thing. So, it's an absolute miracle she survived. She has some guardian angels. Oh my god, she has a whiteboard of truth, which is really the only reason I clicked on this story, other than I got to say "disasked her" on X. As a med student, I'm so curious. So she broke her pelvis, and it looks like and she even used different colors. I'm so proud of her. Uh, Kenzie Hunt was run over by a boat and sucked into the propeller while tubing in August. Don't make tubing don't make tubing not fun. Was there booze involved? Hashtag yes. It was a White Claw. It was a White Claw, no law kinda summer. Since the terrifying ordeal, Hunt and her sister Sydney have made numerous videos documenting her recovery. In one video, she drew her viewers a diagram of how her butt was chopped off by the propeller. You know, I IMO and as a purveyor of the whiteboard of truth, mobile or immobile as it may be, I approve of this whiteboard use. After a scary boating incident, a woman has been documenting her long and painful journey through her sister's TikTok account. I do not approve the use of TikTok. Earlier this month, the 22-year-old Hensley Hunt told her viewer her butt was chopped off by a boat's propeller, which meant she was unable to sit for 3 months properly. Hunt and her sister Sydney, whose account has over 50,000 followers, began documenting her hospitalization in late August, several days after the injury occurred. The Utah based sisters have made over a dozen videos related to Hunt's recovery. In August 30th video that has been viewed over 2.5 million times, Hunt's explained how the accident unfolded. She said she and Sydney were on a girls' trip to South Carolina with friends and decided to go tubing one day with one of the friend's boyfriend's friends who they didn't know. When one of the girls fell off her tube, one of the men driving the boats went back to pick her up. Atheist. Yes, yes, it is. He made a really sharp turn. The rope was really slack. He just came, hit me head on, and I was still laying on the tube head first, she recalled. Is he in any way related to the Black Widower? Asking for a friend because boating accidents I know, could he possibly do the same to my fluffier bits? I'm just asking for a friend. I can't afford, a mommy makeover, but how I mean, this is terrible, but again, I have to ask, was there booze involved? Because I feel like there had to be. I mean, I have seen people in my neighborhood. My neighborhood has lakes and pontoon boats and pontoon, like, vodka seems to be like the best friends in the making, and I'm just saying there had to have been some sort of booze involved. Oh, Lord. I feel terrible for her, but I mean, I kind of feel like does she have a dog with her? Why does she have a rawhide thing with her? I hope that she's not eating the rawhide. Hunt said she was stuck under the boat, got hit by the propeller, and was whipped by the rope when she came under up from under the water. I got my butt pretty good, so my butt was just kind of open, she said in the TikTok. I felt it. There was blood everywhere. She said her sister jumped into the water to help her and was in shock upon seeing the blood. She said the guy in the boat lifted her up and had to put her butt back together, but it already had a crack in it. So, really, no, it was low hanging fruit, y'all. I'm sorry. The cops were called and she was quickly transported to the hospital. She said in total, she was left with a gashing butt injury, ma'am or sir, whoever. Well, I guess you wouldn't wanna say a gaping butt injury. Yeah, I would've look, probably I would've jumped in, but I can tell you guys, I thought I was going to be a nurse or a surgical tech, but I pass out at the sight of blood. So, propeller bruises going down her leg, deep cuts and fracture of her foot, and a pelvis fracture. She said she also needed an ostomy bag, which is a medical device to collect waste, for 6 months. However horrendous, Hunt has made several videos poking fun of the butt injury. Did it hurt when you got hit by a boat and chopped off your butt? On the screen text of the video read, which features Hunt sarcastically lip syncing, "Oh my goodness, I love this question," in response to curious viewers and commenters who identified as medical professionals. Hunt made a video specifically describing what happened to her butt and even drew a diagram of how it was split apart. Yeah, it kind of sounds like drunk people around boats. I mean, again, allegedly, it could be that there was, no booze, but I'm allegedly. Hunt told Insider that the propeller caused 5 to 6 pretty deep lacerations on her body, and her tush needed to be spread out and pushed or held together. Quote, one of the cuts did leave a section hanging off. She said, I had towels pushed up against the wounds until the EMTs were able to wrap it up better. Over the last month, I well, y over the last month, Hunt has made numerous videos responding to viewers' questions, including whether she held any ill will against the man who ran her over. No, he's now her butt buddy. No, sorry. No, not gonna do it. Um, she said while she's frustrated about the overall situation at the time, she's forgiven him and doesn't plan on suing. Ask her lawyer in a couple of years when she gets the medical bills. Hunt told Insider she was hospitalized for a total of 18 days between two hospitals in South Carolina. She returned home on September 1st, which she and Sydney also documented in a TikTok video. Hunt said it felt freeing and relieving to finally be able to go home. My injuries are unique. Not being able to put any weight on my butt or foot makes moving around and relaxing difficult, she told Insider. We've been able to figure out a good system for me to get around, shower, and sleep. Having to move around and figure out a whole new system has been a little harder mentally. And that's really what hits me now, how real it is, but I have incredible help and support to get me through. So, all joking aside, I am glad that she's getting the help she needs, and as someone who's had their life, and a lot of things that I have to do, really changed, from what I can physically do, it's a mind screw. So, I can relate. I mean, I didn't get disassed or anything, but I can relate. In one of her most recent videos this past week, Hunt shared a Get Ready With Me vlog preparing for one of her best friend's weddings. Since it's the first time since her accident she's been able to get ready for an event, she noted. Commenters throughout the ordeals have applauded her for her remarkable positive attitude. Quote, I find your outlook and attitude fantastic. I can see you have ups and downs, but you are really inspiring. One person under an update video from last August, quote, a milestone and you look gorgeous, another commenter exclaimed about her and Sydney's final looks. Yeah, Fry's had an auspicious moment. He and the cats worked together to ninja out a chicken bone from the trash can because I don't think Fry would have been able to do it himself. Uh, and then he escaped his puppy pen and he managed to eat one of Mr. Moe's shoelaces. Yeah, so it it is a complete mind screw when you can't do what you used to do. Hunt says she's looking forward to so many things when she fully recovers, like returning to work as a youth mentor for a residential treatment center for teen boys. I can't wait to just be independent and take care of myself, she added. I can't wait for all the simple things like sitting, driving, walking normal, getting ready, and sitting at a restaurant. So many things. So, be careful around boats, be careful around booze, be careful around both of those things together, folks. Just gonna throw that out there. Maybe don't let the same dude drive. And in other news, if you'd like a happy little tree, a happy little piece of Bob Ross history, it's gonna cost you, folks. Bob Ross' work from the first episode of The Joy of Painting hits the market for 9.8 million, and that is million with an M, dollars. So if you would like a happy little tree, be ready to pony up. September 17th from UPI, a signed work made by artist Bob Ross for the first episode of his popular show, The Joy of Painting, has hit the market with a staggering list price of more than $9.8 million. The 24-inch by 18-inch oil on canvas painting titled A Walk in the Woods was created in 1983, which was just a year before I was born, at the start of the artist's televised career, and is being sold by Modern Artifact in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So if you have, a cool 10 mil laying around and you would like a bit of Bob Ross history, you can, well, or you would just like to donate to the for-profit charity of Moe's House, feel free to contact me and I will color you a painting that will also not be as good. I will make you a happy tree. Now, will it look as good as Bob Ross's? No, but I have some curly hair now. The painting was described by Modern Artifact as, quote, most historically significant Bob Ross original painting ever created, end quote. I think some of us at each point during our life has wanted to paint a picture, Ross said at the start of each episode. I think there's an artist hidden in the bottom of each of every single one of us. Here we will try to show you how to bring the artist out. Uh, no, but I have a lot of aggression, so I think I can work on it. Possibly. But Mr. Mo has said I can buy no more craft supplies until I finish all craft kits that I have. And to be honest, I do have a fair bit amount. So Mr. Mo could be right. I need no more crafting supplies until I finish the at least 10 cross stitch kits that I have in the queue. Mr. Mo is the voice of reason. Ross, who developed an interest in painting after attending an art class during his 20-year career in the U.S. Air Force, died in 1995 at the age of 52. His instructional painting show, which aired from 1983 to 1994, was so beloved that he gained world or widespread popularity after his death, aided by the internet. The show has been celebrated for Ross's soothing voice, cheerful demeanor, and encouraging approach to teaching people how to paint serene natural landscapes, primarily using wet on wet oil painting technique. He often used phrases like happy little trees and happy accidents to describe unplanned but beautiful moments that could occur in the process of painting. It's exceedingly rare to find any Bob Ross episode pieces. This is a one of a kind opportunity to own the very first one, the gallery said in its listing. Although Bob Ross paintings have become highly sought after by collectors, the market is still emerging. So, again, if you have 10 mil, this is an emerging market. Don't diversify into gold. I cannot give you any financial advice, but if I had 10 mil lying around, gold or Bob Ross artifacts, I don't know. I'd be tempted. In describing the prominent provenance of the piece, the gallery said the painting had only had one owner, a person who was there at the time Ross painted the piece. It's difficult to define Bob Ross's style in terms of contemporary art. It was closest to pop art due to his celebrity status, the concept in which it was created, the gallery said. Except for early gold pans he distributed while stationed in Alaska, he never really sold his work. So I do like that Bob Ross was actually a drill sergeant at one point. That always really or really struck me as kind of hilarious. Well, yeah. I mean, it would be a work of philanthropy. Good choice, atheist. Something tangible. In other news from Law and Crime, Booze Cruise operator says it has, quote, no reason to believe missing mother celebrating birthday had fallen overboard. Uh, so, in other news of possible boats and booze do not go together, the search for a missing mother has entered its second week. Tamia Taylor, 21, disappeared amid her birthday celebration on a 2-hour riverboat cruise. It's unclear if she ever stepped off the craft, although the company said Monday they don't think she fell overboard. Well, that's a ringing endorsement of safety protocols. We're pretty sure she got off the boat. Like, we don't do a head count or anything, but we're pretty sure she's not here no more. Yikes. Quote, we would like to express our sympathy to Tamia Taylor's family and friends in regard to her being a missing person, the cruise company Memphis Riverboats Incorporated said in a statement. Quote, we can confirm from video footage circulating around that she was last seen on the boat as the boat was pulling into the harbor where we docked our boats. We have no reason to believe that she could have gone overboard, and we will be respecting the MPD as they conduct their investigation. We hope she is found safe and returns home. If you have any information about her, please contact the Memphis Police Department. Yeah, well, it seems like this might have been a party boat. Let's see. Taylor traveled to Memphis, Tennessee to take part in Island Queen Booze Cruise for her birthday, cops said. Well, so it doesn't seem like it was, in fact, a booze cruise. Okay. The ride started at approximately 11:30 p.m. on a Saturday, September 9th. Well, this is already way past my bedtime. You can tell I'm old. I'm like, 11:30? It starts at 11:30? That's gonna be a hard pass for me. Starts at 11:30? You would think they would have heard the splash or something. Her companions did not see her after the boat returned to the dock, and everyone stepped off, the cops said. Quote, there were two exits on the boat for patrons to offload at the conclusion of the ride, officers wrote. Cops said Tuesday they don't know if Taylor left the boat before her friends. Her mother drove to Memphis early Sunday, September 10th, in order to file a person report after she tried several times to get in touch with her by phone. Officers said they're looking into every possible scenario, including if Taylor fell overboard. They have not said whether or not they suspect foul play. Yeah. That's kind of that is a bit odd. I would look, again, this is way past my bedtime, but let's adjust the time period a little bit and say if it was a 7:30 booze cruise for us, let's say, more awake at 4:30 AM folks, and I was there for a friend for their birthday, I'm gonna be hanging out with my friend and possibly not I'm gonna notice if they're not there. I don't understand where her friends were that they're not gonna maybe be around her when they're getting off the boat. Sal phrasing, I already hear you typing. I already hear you. Taylor's mother, Deborah Taylor, spoke to Memphis Fox affiliate WHPQ BQ in a Tuesday report, and she voiced frustration with the three friends. Quote, they seemed to make it off the boat and she didn't, she said, and no one has any answers. They don't know what happened. One of these three friends, uh, your Quandera Jenkins, denied any wrongdoings when speaking to Memphis NBC affiliate WMC in a Wednesday report. Yeah. Look, y'all, I'm really trying with these names. I am not trying to butcher them officially. I'm trying to be respectful, but I've not seen that particular name before. It's a lot of rumors going around. It's a lot of people saying that me and two of my friends have drugged her, we killed her. It's too many rumors going around, he said. Oh, it was a male friend. Oh, okay. I thought this was a female friend. So maybe Quandera is a man? Okay, I'll just leave that there. The outlet noted that according to Jenkins, Taylor met someone in line while waiting to go on board. Them 2 were talking and whatever, and he was telling her, "Oh, you're a Virgo." She's a Virgo, so they started laughing and talking, so he gave her some money to buy a drink so she can celebrate her birthday, he said. Jenkins said that Taylor had already been drinking before, going on the cruise ship. Okay. Well, she had her little bottle with her, she was already taking shots, and we were smoking. I'm guessing he means the devil's lettuce and not nicotine, but that is an assumption and speculation and possibly not correct. Jenkins reportedly said they lost sight of Taylor on the ship after she walked alone to the bathroom and was gone for more than 15 minutes. So instead of looking for their friend, they apparently just hung out on the boat. These are not your friends. They searched the entire boat and called the police around 1:45 a.m. when the cruise docked, he said. Taylor did not turn up even after a search of the boat and the bars on Beale Street. I'm praying she didn't fall off that boat. I think somebody snatched her. I think somebody or some people on that boat got something to do with it, he said. Nothing about this whole scenario of the night adds up, Deborah Taylor told WHBQ. Nothing adds up. The friends said they lost her, according to Deborah Taylor. I said, "What do you mean you don't know?" she said. "We don't know. We lost her." How do you lose somebody that you came with? Then she gave me the story. We got on the boat. We were getting out of the boat, and Tamia said she had to go to the restroom. We put her phone or She put her phone down to go back to the second floor to use the restroom. We picked up her phone, went to the door to stand and wait on her, and then we left. Jay Munn, a golf cart taxi driver, told the outlet he saw Tamia Taylor on dry land the night of her disappearance. She was intoxicated, very intoxicated, and she was with some other people, he said. The group, Taylor, two women, and a man, all seemed happy and nothing appeared to be out of the ordinary, he said. They asked for a ride, but he could not accept because he was already driving someone. Yeah, what woman would take not take their phone to the bathroom? This all seems very sus. I He returned later to the riverboats where he saw them again on River Drive, but this time they turned down his offer, he said. I'm like, "Hey, do you guys need a ride?" Munn said. And they were like, "No, we're good, we're straight." From that point, I just went on and found someone else who needed a ride. Cops asked that anyone who was on the Island Queen booze cruise on Saturday, September from 11:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, September 10th, to call them with any information to help find Taylor. So if you guys were happened to be on the booze cruise, please call. Uh, this sounds all the sus, and I'm sure we're going to get more information coming out that I don't know. The friends stories sound weird. It all sounds really weird. Now I want to go on a booze cruise, but I wonder if they have earlier nights because I'm not staying up till 11:30. I'm not paying someone to stay up till 11:30. And in funny news, Babylon Bee struggles to make satire, but they continue to do it day after day, and we are ending on it. In bad luck, military announces that the lost F-35 was carrying the Epstein client list. You know, in a turn of all shucks, Washington, D.C., in a blow to the transparency of information and what would have been a treasure trove of evidence against a global sex trafficking ring, the Pentagon has announced that the F-35 lost F-35 jet that was apparently carrying the only known copy of Jeffrey Epstein client list has gone. This is truly very unfortunate, the Department of Defense spokesperson John Kirby said. Quote, "The client list that once belonged to the late Mr. Epstein was being transported to an undisclosed location for analysis to prepare to use it as evidence to deliver justice for Epstein's victims. But tragically, with the plane going missing, it is unlikely we will ever see the list again. It's such a peculiar happenstance, really." Media outlets and public at large have been calling for the release of Epstein's client list for years, but now we will be left to speculate to its context, such as, "It's such an awful coincidence," said conspiracy theorist Ryan Felix. "It just so happens that the very plane carrying this client list disappears." Yeah, right. Sure. Funny how that happens, huh? At publishing time, reports had begun to circulate that in addition to Epstein client lists, the missing F-35 jet just happens to also be carrying the Nashville Shooters Manifesto, Barack Obama's original birth certificate, conclusive proof of the identity of the January 6th pipe bomber, and all known documentation and evidence of Joe and Hunter's dealings with Ukrainian and Chinese governments. Whoops-a-doozy. I mean, as happens from time to time, I don't know how the Babylon Bee continues to do satire because honestly, I couldn't put it past. But that, you all, is Mo and Fry in the morning, and Fry has decided to take a nap because he's like, "The newsy news is exhausting." And it is. But I will see you guys soon for the for the Gareth Pursehouse case. Hopefully, the state will rest today, or at least that's what we were kind of hoping for. And we will see what the defense brings, because I'm sure that will not be a flaming dumpster fire of all the sads. I'm sure that will be a coherent and well thought out, wonderful, planned, you know, coherent talkiness from Doogie Howser and Helen Lovejoy. I have absolutely all the confidence in the world that they are going to be a great team, like the, Captain Planet, you know, Bobbsey twins of awesome. So I will see you in about 30 minutes for that. And then don't forget tonight, we have the nightly newsy news with Mo and Fry. bribe, possibly, unless he's, tired of shenanigans throughout the day. And then at 8 PM, we will continue with the Delphi, and hopefully, I will have my lapel mic working so that we can utilize the big murder board because I have a feeling that once we get into the who are the Odinites, because that is about 5 pages, and uh, Murph and I were talking, and it is all the nanigans. It is, I need a Conspira hat. It is going to be all the crazy, so hold on to your butts, y'all, unless it's been cut off by a propeller, and even then, super glue that thing on because it's gonna get weird out there. I will see you all in a little bit. Have a great Tuesday, and thanks for joining me for this little bit of time. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.